What's good, YouTube? Rio the Fox Kid.
Tempest CFV.
Yeah, him.
Team Thunderclap is here.
Team Thunderclap. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I actually do remember what I'm going to say this time.
Hooray!
Yeah, we went to Thanks for Playing today. It's
Yep.
his locals. I've been there twice, if you guys have seen my previous videos, and I'm messing with my hair. Yeah, so he took his Destiny Hero Agent deck, or my Destiny Hero Agent deck.
I didn't do too well. I went 2 and 3.
Yeah,
I started really well because it's the best I've ever done. The best record I've ever had there has been 3 and 2 with X Sabers, and that was with a lot of scrubs. There are a lot of scrubs there today, but
yeah.
Still.
I, on the other hand, well, for one, hit the jackpot in terms of dual terminal. There's several things, including a Lavalval chain for when it comes out.
hooray!
Yeah. And I took Dragonsworn to the top 8 and then lost to windups. Let's see, round 1 I went against 6 Sams and absolutely exploded on him before he could even do anything. Round 2 I went against TG Stun. It was actually fairly difficult, but I won game 3. Round 3 went against Gearja and lost. Round 4 went against Glad Beast and lost. And round 5 I went against some Valhalla Dark Flare and won. And then top 8 went to windups and lost. But yeah, so made it top 8, did very good day, made big profit on cards. So I'll just go into the deck. I really like it. I might take this to regionals. Don't know. It's a lot faster than Lightsworn than Chaos Dragon. It gives up the defensive cards just to add consistency and power. But of course, if you get screwed up, you don't really have much to defend yourself. But anyway,
That was his one problem, is that during his game 3 against windups, he spread himself real thin, and then he dark holed, and he really couldn't come back from it.
It wasn't a dark hole. He just kind of took apart everything. But
Well,
yeah, more or less same thing.
Yeah.
One JD, obviously. I actually get JD out fairly often. Not enough to warrant more than one, because sometimes he was dead in the hand and he was just fuel for other stuff. But I did get JD out quite a lot today. So I do like one JD. One Dad, obvious. BLS, Gores. One Darkness Metal. 2 Trag. Fairly standard, yeah. One Chaos Sorcerer. 3 Dark Flare, runs the deck. Dark Flare is a lot more consistent in Dragonsworn than Chaos Dragon, I find, because Dragonsworn you're running 2 extra dragons. You're running 1 more JD, or you're running 1 JD, and you're running 1 more Eclipse Wyvern. So that's 2 more targets for Dark Flare. So I find I go off with him a lot more in this build. 3 Light Pulsar, 2 Card Trooper, 2 Eclipse Wyvern, 1 Aaron, 1 Jane, 1 Lumina, 3 Lila, only 2 Raikou because of space. And as for the tour guide engine, I'm doing something a little interesting. I'll just move these aside. I'm still running the 2 tour guide, 1 Night Assailant, 1 Sangan, but I've also decided to run 1 tour bus. I absolutely love tour bus. I think it's amazing in this deck, just because if I mill it, if I discard it for Light Pulse, or if I exceed with it, no matter what I do, its effect will go off. And return something I don't want in the graveyard, put it back in the deck. I actually returned Judgment Dragon to the deck, I returned a BLS to the deck, that actually won me game 1 against the windups, along with me dropping Gores on him, but yeah, so that's pretty awesome. I do think Tour Bus is a little better than Phantom of Chaos, because Phantom of Chaos, it's good for getting free JD, free DAT, or free whatever, but then he's a 0 attack sitting duck at the end of the turn. You really don't want that, especially in this version, which has little to no defense. So I like Tour Bus more, and also it gives me an extra target for Tour Guide in case I mill the other one, so I think having all 5 of them isn't bad. And that's the monster lineup. Spell lineup, 1 Allure, 1 Charge, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Monster Reborn, 3 Recharge, and then 1 Trap, Treacherous Trap Hole. Like I said before, personal attack choice, I have the space for it right now. If I had to, I would drop it though, because I did side it out a lot game 2, or just almost every single game 2, just cuz. Extra deck. I'm not sure how much this has changed, but I'll show it anyway. Thunderclap. Gaia Dragon the Thunderclap guy. Yeah.
Signature card.
Yep. Exabeetle. Yeah, Exabeetle did work today a lot. Adrius.
He did work too.
Yeah, he did work. Game 2 against Windups, I actually managed to summon Adrius. Still didn't win. Tyrus, I actually don't get Tyrus that often. I got him out once so far, and it wasn't even today. I honestly think if I had something else, I would. Like, what was I saying earlier that I was gonna fit
I think
in?
you're saying be the Bouncer or Tom, whichever you get first.
Bouncer or Tom. Yeah, Strike Bouncer or Tom. Or if I get neither of those, then when Hinrose or something comes out, I'll just put in the Volval Chain. But yeah, I almost never get out Tyrus. 1 Maestroke, 1 Queen Dragoon, 1 Leviair, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Giga Brilliant, Acid Golem, and I did add Tempo to the extra deck. Pretty much, I really like Tempo because the 2 times I've managed to summon him so far, he would have done a lot of work if my opponent didn't Torrential Tribute. So, right. Yeah, it's like, Tempo's really good. Against the wind-up guy before he Torrentialed, he was sitting on a Zen Mighty and a Maestro, both with 1 Xyz material. So I was like, okay, I can drop the Tempo, pitch one of them, and then on his draw phase, pitch the other one. And then he Torrentialed, but still, Tempo I think is really, really good. Zen Mines, Synchros, Scrap and Black Rose, and then Chimera Attack Fortress Dragon, because Cyber Dragon. So good. And side deck. I actually changed this a little bit from when I actually ran it today, but the only difference is just in the side I had 2 Snowman Eater, which I took out because I used it once and it didn't even work well. So I don't think Snowman Eater is a good side for this deck. 2 Cyber Dragon, obvious. Heroes, Girja, Windup. I dropped to 2 Valor. I didn't mention it, but I don't main Valor anymore, or at least not in this version, just because there's 8 decks in the meta right now. Like 8. It's like Windup, Hero, Girja, Dino Rabbit, Heretic, 6 Sam, Dark World, Chaos Dragon, and maybe 3 of those are hit by Valor, like, or hit bad enough. Like Girja kind of suffers from it. Dino Rabbit gets hit hard by it. Even against windups, it's like Valor helps, but they can still make stupid plays. I'd rather side MST against windups just to get rid of their factories. Just like I used Valor against a windup guy today, and he still went off even after I Valored. So I don't think Valor's main deck worthy anymore. Maxi is infinitely better. Yeah, instead of the 2 Snowman Eaters, I'm also now running 2 Gemini Imps just for that Dark World matchup. Gemini Imps, yeah, you drop Gemini Imps on whatever their dealings, their drag downs, their card destruction, and U+. It's pretty funny. 2 Ryo. I actually, for a short time, was maining Ryo, just because he hits, out of those 8 decks I mentioned, he hits 7 of them. The only one that doesn't give a shit is Dark World. I eventually sided him though because he slowed the deck down. So
what was that, Ryo?
Yeah, Ryo. It's like just because game 1 I want to go for intense speed, and then game 2 when I know what I'm up against, I'll slow it down a little bit, and then that's when Ryo becomes good. And then 3 MST because it's MST and it's awesome. 2 Compulse, just helps against Hero, Girja, Windup, anything that mass succeeds aside from Dino Rabbit because they can negate it with Logia. But, I might side against them too. And 2 Decrees, just because anything with heavy back row hates Decree. That's actually how I won game 2 against the TG Stun guy. Just I had Royal Decree and he sat on a bunch of cards he couldn't use. Yeah. Yeah, that's the that's the build. Pretty much, I might take it to regional. Really, the only thing I would change is if I managed to get them, I would use Max C, just like if I could acquire them. I don't know how I'd fit it. I'd probably drop Treacherous and 1 Lila, just so that would give me an even spread of light and darks. I'd have 14 lights, 14 darks, and 4 earths for 32 monsters. Alternately, I could put it in the side deck, but Max C is too good, and I don't know how I'd fit it in any way. I'd probably have to drop the imps, and I kind of want to keep those for Dark World. Yeah, I don't generally like siding a card that specifically just hits 1 deck, but Dark World's Dark World, so why not? That's pretty much it. I mean, it's still Chaos Dragon, just has the Lightsworn engine in it. So yeah, you'll see opening we did earlier today of a bunch of Return of the Duelists that I got with the several ultra rare dual
You
terminal
traded
stuff I
in
got today.
2 Bahamas and 2 Pleiades for
Yeah,
$40 worth of.
Yeah, the only one I didn't trade was the change because I'm gonna need it when it becomes legal. And dual terminal chain is just too awesome looking. So yeah, we're gonna upload that when we go back to our campus because he's having problems with the internet.
Yep.
It's his house, but my internet works and his doesn't, just because I guess it likes his guests. Yeah, and then I'm also going to post a deck profile really soon of a deck that our friend Steven and his teammate from Team Top Deck MD, I believe, ran. It's Rat Toolbox. Yeah, that really old deck from like 2007. It was my first competitive deck, so I felt compelled to build it again after I saw his friends build. So I'll post that soon. It's more of a fun deck. I wouldn't run it competitively, but it's really fun. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Deuces.